Hello everyone, and welcome again to my channel. In the last episode, I spoke about procurement of the materials in bulk. The finishing materials we bought from China, and then the steel frame buildings for the apartments we bought from England. And then I spoke about the way it was all shipped into Amadi Port, which is close to Port Harcourt, and then got a clearing agent to clear all these goods, to the site. It was tedious, but done in batches, and we successfully had it all delivered on site. I spoke about the challenges and how we overcome the challenges. Today, I want to talk about another big challenge that we had. Because the project was so huge, the materials most of it landed on site, we needed to have the workforce to have it all fixed. You can imagine the quantity of tiles that we had, the quantity of windows, doors, kitchen cabinets, sanitary ware, and the list just goes on. So it was a huge challenge because we couldn't find all the labor, the skilled labor that we needed to fix all these. We had some in Nigeria because Nigeria is big and there was a lot of work going on at the time. So we had to import the labor. Now, in West Africa in general, the most skilled, skilled personnel that you will find will be in the Francophone countries. They'll come from the Francophone countries. Technical, anything that you want skilled, most of the time the best of these personnel come from the Francophone countries. So because I had the experience of doing projects, not as big as this, but projects of this magnitude and time and everything, in the Gambia, the experience was to bring in labor from Senegal. So then what I did was to go back to Senegal through my contacts, through my old contractors, and got some new ones. And then the same thing with the Gambia. In the Gambia, I also brought some workforce, both from Senegal and Gambia. Now, in Senegal, what I went for was to get tilers. I got some carpenters who would do all the cabinet work, fixing the doors. I also got painters. I got people who were fixing the POP. The POP is the plaster of Paris, all the ceiling decoration and fixing it. So I got it from there. We got some plumbers. And then in the Gambia, I got supervisors because way back in 2006, we developed the AU presidential villas in the Gambia. It was 52 of them. And we had it all built in 4 months. And there were young Gambians who were engineers and foremen who did the job and did it perfectly well. So I approached them and then offered them a job to come to the Gambia, to go to Nigeria in order to supervise the works. So in total, about 400 Gambians and Senegalese were taken from these two countries to Port Harcourt. The top of them, the engineers and some of the foremen, we sent by air. They came in by air from mainly the Gambia. But those that came from Senegal, because the number was so huge, we had to get a lot of buses. And they drove from Senegal all the way to Port Harcourt. It was a major challenge. You can imagine, okay, we had them in batches again coming in. But they came in and stayed in the incomplete buildings. That's where they were staying. Few of them even brought their wives to cook for them. So they came in, and then we gave them the jobs to fix all these finishing materials. Now, when they came in, obviously, they also worked with some of the locals, people who came from Port Harcourt, some people came from, obviously, in the north, you know, and the work really went fast. But in moving that fast with all these works came with the challenges. So what we did was to have the engineers supervise them, you know, and also controlled the materials. So this was a major challenge, obviously, but it was overcome by bringing this labor from Senegal and the Gambia to be able to meet our targets. Challenges that we had were now mobilized from these countries, going cross-border. What would have taken them probably about 4 days took them about 10 days. So they crossed the borders, came in, and without them, I must be very honest, it would have been difficult to get the job done. So it was all done, and they trained some, and to date, as I prepared this video, some came back, some went back to Gambia, some went back to Nigeria, but there's quite a number of them that stayed on and also moved over to other states. So they went over to other states and they were working there. So the takeaway here on this is that yes, you will meet challenges, especially on labor. Labor in most countries is a challenge because there's quite a number of projects that are going on. So one must be able to mobilize from one country to the other. But one thing that also must be stressed is that the youth folk must be encouraged to take up some of these jobs, because as long as we live, we will always need them. As long as there's prosperity, we will always build a lot of houses. We will also buy sophisticated equipment, cars, and so on. And you need technicians to fix this. So that's my advice on this one here. The takeaway is let our governments, especially the English speaking, take up skills training, encouraging the young ones to be able to take up these causes which is most needed. So thank you very much for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe on my channel on the link below.